Happy New Year's. What's up? What's up? Bam, bam. Zach, Weston, Chad. Want to come over here and say what's up? What's up, Leon, Al? There's that little natty my dad made me. It's got real narrow fork tips. Yeah, bam, bam. I'd be up for that. I've never done a co-live. I'm not really sure how to do that, to be honest with you. But I'm willing to learn. No one ever invites me. I've been shooting this one a lot lately. This is one I made myself. But it just started ripping on me. So I pulled another one out the bag. Which is the one my dad gifted me for Christmas. So I gifted him one that I made for Christmas, and then he gifted me one that he made. So it worked out. So I'm shooting at this ladder down here. I got the catch box and then the ladder, which I find myself shooting at more often now. I don't know why, but that 40 that's up there, that little white spinner, that's a 40 millimeter spinner. You know, it's more at like eye level. I feel like it's more at the height that a knockdown would be at like a tournament or whatever. So that's what I practice on more often than anything. Oh yeah, Leon, I'm sure they're probably not. They're probably not difficult, the co-lives. I just haven't tried to do one yet. Yeah, my dad, I actually was asking him if he wanted to shoot with me the other day. And we could have gone live and we could have been together shooting back here in the backyard. But he was busy with something, so. Am I doing any Guinness World Record? I don't know. What's the Guinness World Record for most times hitting a target with a slingshot balanced on your head? I guess there's all kinds of goofy things you could do for a world record. I don't know. I've been trying to, I've been on this thing called my Quest for 20 for a little while now, which is basically 20 consecutive hits on that 40 millimeter spinner, and it is hard. It's very hard. I'm shooting slingshots, Jaden. Shooting slingshots. This is another one I got in my pocket. This is the Falcon. This is actually probably the cheapest slingshot I ever purchased from Tim Hemery. I purchased it from Tim Hemery, and it is also the cheapest slingshot I've ever purchased. It was like, he was selling them for like 10 or 15 bucks at the East Coast tournament this past year. I guess it's last year now, since it's a new year. So 2024's East Coast tournament, he was selling these at his tent. I bought it for like 10 bucks, and it is like one of my go-to frames. It's still like one of my most consistent slingshot frames that I own. So the most I've ever gotten, so I talked about this Quest for 20 on that little 40 millimeter spinner. The most I've ever gotten in a row is 18, but I didn't get it on camera. The most I got on camera was 14. So anyway, I've been on this Quest for 20. I've set this goal for myself, 20 hits, 20 consecutive hits. Hey, Becky. Becky's on here. You want to say hi? Here the kids are. She's watching.
Hi, Becky.
Hi.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Zach, that's true. The camera adds like another dozen heartbeats per minute. Is what I figure. So your heart rate goes up when the camera comes on. I don't know why. You know, it's whatever, but I'm just out here shooting. I got a few frames I was gonna shoot today. Like I said, I was shooting that natty for a while. I started shooting the one my dad gifted me, which I'm surprisingly pretty accurate with. This is actually a narrower taper than I usually use too. He put that on there for me because he knew the fork tips were narrower than most of my frames. But I should, you know, I should start. I've been trying other tapers and narrower tapers. I got 1811 is the new one I've been playing with a lot lately. So 18. Well, that's not a good example because that one's much narrower than this. So 18 millimeters down to 11 millimeters. That goes my sling bag. Anyway, I'll take some shots with this Falcon. I shoot 8 millimeters, Zach. It's really all I've ever shot, except for when I first started when I was shooting clay. You know, it's funny, the RVA catapults crew who I shoot with often, most of them shoot 8 millimeter, so it's just easier, you know, when you're shooting and then you collect up all the ammo. It's just a big old pile of 8 millimeters, so you don't have to sort through them or whatever. There's some folks that show up that shoot some bigger ammo, but mostly it's 8 millimeter. All right, let's give it a few shots. Again, I'm shooting at that little white wasp spinner on the ladder down there. Right now, I'm shooting the Falcon. I got some other frames here I'll shoot. Like I said, Falcon's a go-to. It's the cheapest frame I've ever purchased, but also one of my most consistent. Thanks, Zach. See ya. Peace out. Dad, you gotta get up back here and we'll do a live together. We'll go live so everyone can see Uncle Larry, the slingshot wizard. I was shooting your slingshot just a minute ago. Where'd it go? Oh, it's in my pocket. I was shooting your natty just a second ago. Maybe before I went live, I don't remember, but it's the new year. First shot's the new year. First shots. See, just like that. What's up, Tyler? Tyler Perry. 8 millimeter is the way. TJ. You go by TJ or Tyler? No, you always introduce yourself as TJ. What's up? All right, let's get to it. Ooh, I nicked it. Barely nicked it. No, Al, my dad's not done a live with me. We want to. He lives nearby, right near me. Matter of fact, I'm actually neighbors with Lori Valente. I'm sure you may have heard of her. Her and Moan, they're with the RVA catapults crew. We shoot with them all the time. But Lori lives right down the street from me, like literally right down the street from me. So we got a lot of cool slingshot peeps in the area. Richmond, Virginia, RVA catapults. We get together at Moan Waller's place about every other weekend and shoot. Well, I haven't gone in the past probably month or so, but normally they do every other weekend. They get shoots together at his place. It's a ball. So if y'all are ever in the area in Virginia, check it out. It's windy. I can feel my bands vibrating. It's windy out here. Also, my dad banded this for me when he gave it to me, and I always poke fun of him because I say he uses weak bands. So he tried to band this up stronger than he would normally shoot because he knew I would be shooting it. It's not still as strong as I would shoot it, but also getting used to this narrower taper. I can't remember what you said this was, Dad, but this taper is like I don't know. Remind me what it is. Let's see what else I got in my bag of tricks. These are a couple really cool frames. This one, a friend at work made this for me. I just got moved to a new location at work, a new site. And of course, I start talking about slingshots immediately. And this guy, he's a woodworker that I work with. So he was like, I would like to try my hand at making one. And so I gave him my Falcon as a kind of a guide. And he traced it out and made this up for me within a couple days. So it's pretty quick put together, but I've been shooting this. It's 90 millimeters. It's a Falcon. But this has been pretty fun. That target's not in shadow yet. Y'all can still see that target down there, I think. That white 40 millimeter spinner. Ooh. And then this is one I've gotten recently that I haven't really shot that much, to be honest with you, because I'm scared to death to shoot it. That's the Kenneth Dykes Red Thorn Hunter. This is a gem. 90 millimeters. I first saw one of these things at the AIM tournament in Indiana. So we went to the AIM tournament, and Kenneth was there. He had a couple frames that he was selling, and he had one of these. It was blue, anodized blue with a red handle. He had it up for to be won as one of the prizes in the raffle. And it was the first time I saw one of these frames, and I was blown away. So I knew I had to have one. So I messaged him shortly after that tournament and asked him if he could make one 90 millimeters, kind of, you know, told him what colors I might be interested in and everything. That thing is slick. If you don't know Kenneth Dykes, he makes some beautiful stuff. You can see kind of all the detail that's, I don't know if you can see it that well, but all the detail that's in that frame. I don't even know if I'll shoot it now, to be honest with you, because I'm live, which means my heart rate's up, nervous. I'm not gonna fork hit this thing. But I got a bunch of other frames here I'm shooting today. All right. If I move out of the frame, sometimes it clears up a little bit. That ladder, let me show you. I'm gonna take you down there to this ladder, the shooting ladder. I'll show you what we got going on this ladder. I've got 6 targets. Well, technically 7 targets on this ladder. All right, TJ, peace. Thanks for joining us. So this is a little rubber ammo ball. What if I do it this way? A little rubber ammo ball. This thing is probably like 8.5, 9 millimeters wide. Got the 40 millimeter wasp spinner. Come down here to the 3rd level. I've actually got 2 targets on this 3rd level. I've got a Nerf ball. This thing might be 10 millimeters wide. What's up, Knuckles? So I'm showing off the ladder here, my shooting ladder. These are all the little targets that I shoot at. I do a daily practice of shooting down this ladder every day. Ideally, I shoot down the entire ladder without missing. So I'll just, if I hit the top one, I'll go to the second one. If I miss, I stop back, I go back to the top one, so on and so forth. So I shoot down the whole ladder. There's some days where that does not happen very easily, and then I'll say to myself, well, I'm just going to shoot each target. But so anyway, at the very top we have this tiny little like 9 millimeter ball, 40 millimeter wasp spinner. Okay, my dad just told me the Nerf ball is, this one's 14 millimeters. And then the newest edition, compare that to the Nerf ball. It's tiny. So that's a target I've hit a few times. You can see it's busting up a little bit. It's filled with super glue and baking soda to harden it up really well. You can kind of see where I've hit it a few times, but that one's tough. So anyway, this is the one I really go after when I'm shooting the ladder. Next is the little grommet spinner. This is made from one of the folks at the RVA catapults crew, Bridget Camden. She makes these. She's made a bunch of pile of these things, and this thing has held up great. These little grommet spinners have held up. This thing has held up really well. I've hit this a bunch, and it's a little ugly, but it's you know, it takes a beating. Next one down is the, what is this? I think that's a 50 millimeter wasp spinner. And then at the very bottom, we got another one of those Nerf targets. So anyway, like I said, I shoot this thing every day, just about. I make it a practice to go all the way down the, where is it at? Doop, doop. I go all the way down the ladder. I try to do it without missing. So if I miss, I go back up to the top. But it's tough. I mean, sometimes it can take me an hour. Sometimes it takes me 2 tries. It just depends. All right, let me see if I can get this back up here. Al, I don't know how to do that. How do you do the wrench thing? I don't know how to do that. Someone that knows this better than I do. Community moderation. I don't know how to do the wrenches. This is only like my third live I've ever done. All right, so we're gonna try to go down that ladder now. Let's see if it'll clear up a little bit. Okay, community moderation. Yeah, I know. I'm to be honest with you, I doesn't bother me too much to shoot live. I just don't know how much people really enjoy seeing me shoot. It just seems to me it would seem like a little boring maybe, I guess, I don't know. But I do agree, doing the lives, I feel like that might give you an advantage in tournaments. Like, so you get used to people watching you shoot live. So when you're at the, when you're at the live shooting, when you're at the line at a tournament shooting, the knockdowns or whatever, and you got folks watching you, you may not get worked up so much. So I do think there is an advantage to doing the lives regularly and often. And I think the guys that do that a lot, they probably work out the nerves, faster at the tournaments and stuff. So. Yeah, that's right. I get that, Weston. I do too. I love jumping on lives and just chatting with the folks in the chat. And sometimes it has less to do with the actual live than it does the people that are just commenting, So it's just kind of fun. All right, let's go down this ladder. Let's see how we do. Y'all can't even see those smaller targets from here. That very top one, I can't even see it. From your point of view. Got it. I don't know if you can see it on there, but I got that top one. Now I'm going to go down to the wasp spinner. Got it. So now we're going down to that Nerf ball. Just missed. So anyway, that's where I would start back up at the top. Keep trying. Oh yeah, Weston. So that's the magic string. You can get that at like craft stores and stuff. It works great. So you probably saw the targets tied up with that or hung on that down there. It's just stretchy enough to give the target some wiggle room, so it doesn't wear out the hang tab of the target. I was using some paracord for a long time. To put the targets on, to thread the targets through. And that paracord's so rigid. It's just so rigid, and especially if you pull it really taut and it doesn't really sag or anything like that, you pull it really taut, which I like. I like it taut so it doesn't sag down and everything. You keep hitting this. I was hitting a wasp spinner on one of those paracords pretty regularly every day I was shooting it. And after like 3 months, I wore that target out. That wasp spinner was busted to pieces, which they should last a lot longer than that. And I firmly believe it was because I had it hung on a really taut paracord string. So once I started using this magic string, the targets last longer. Also, the magic string is clear, and it pretty much, There's no obstruction in your vision, so you're basically just seeing the target. You're not seeing any line there going through the target or anything like that, whatever it's hung on. It's great. I think all around it works really well. And it holds up. It doesn't get weathered. You know, these strings have been out here for like 3 or 4 months, and the weather hasn't affected them at all. Now I'm not sure if they'll last forever, but they hold up really well. I got a catch box. I got a catch box down here too. Let's take some shots at the catch box. Got a couple things in there. Got some Spanky Monkey spinners in there. Spanky Monkey, so Spanky Monkey, if y'all haven't heard of Spanky Monkey, that's Brandy Falsey. I think is how you say your last name, Falsey. She makes some really, really cool, let me show you these. She makes some really cool leather spinners. So I got a couple of her spinners in my catch box. She's on the RVA Catapults crew as well. So she's from around here. Y'all have probably seen these online. I got that one, and I got one I call my watermelon spinner because it's green and red. So that's my catch box. Wasp spinner, 40 millimeter. Wasp spinner, 25 millimeter. Wasp spinner, 40 millimeter. I got the two 40 millimeter Spanky Monkeys, and then I just got like a little bell. I don't shoot that bell too often because it ricochets bad. I'll hit that thing and the ammo, I don't know where it's gonna go. So we don't shoot that bell too often. Those Spanky Monkey spinners, you can get those if you just contact Brandy directly on Facebook. That's how I've always, I don't know how else. I mean, I've always just emailed her. I mean, I see her often at the RVA Catapults shooting annies. So that's where I can get mine. But if you just or message her on Facebook, I think is where you can get them from. She makes really cool targets. She's made those really cool, let me show you this. Those really cool magnet bangles. She makes these really cool, they're magnet bracelets. So she makes these too. That colored string on there is actually bow string. So it's really, really, really tough. Holds up really well. The leather's really good quality. Not trying to make this like a commercial or anything, but I do really like her products. They're really awesome. So, little ammo. Throw some ammo on there. All right, let's go for that bell. Damn the ricochets. We'll see what happens. I don't know where it's gonna go. They're not usually too bad, but they ricochet pretty bad. I got chickens over there. I don't want it ricocheting over there and hitting one of the chickens, so I don't shoot at the bell too often. So that bell doesn't make a whole lot of noise because I've knocked the little dangly thing out from the inside of it. Oh, 200-pound test fishing line. Okay, so she might have, I know at one point she was using bowstring. All right, let's go to the Slingshot Wizards paracord wrapped maple natty with the narrow fork tips. Shooting slingshots. New Year's Day. That top spinner is a toughie. That's that little 9mm rubber ball. This is a little janky natty I made the other day. I spent all of like 20 minutes on this one, carving it. I don't care. It's fun. I made this one just after Christmas, I think, is when I made this. Spent like all of 20 minutes carving it, and this is what I shot the. I shot what challenge? Oh, I think I've shot Zach's challenge with this frame. The one, the 40mm challenge. So the one that you've got to see how many times you can hit the 40mm spinner in a row consecutively, and you get 3 tries. So this is the frame I shot that challenge with, and that was the first time I shot this frame on that challenge. I think it was dumb luck. I got 7. I think I got 7 in a row the first time I shot it, or the first session. Shooting low. Oh, this is a wider, I know why. This is a wider, I think when I measured this is 95mm, which is much wider than I'm used to shooting. So it does take some adjusting to get used to it. What's up, Andrew? Happy New Year. Oh, look, the squirrel. I'm not gonna shoot him. Don't worry. All right, I'm low. 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 What are you eating? What are you eating? Let me dial this in and I'll get it. Ooh, that was close. Getting there. I'm getting there. I went from shooting 85 millimeter frame to a 95 millimeter frame. Messed me up. Clive, what's up? Andrew, I was shooting lights out earlier. I was using this natty I made a while back. I'm shooting really well with it. But the band started tearing and I didn't want to take the time to band it back up. But I just realized the other day, this is 85 millimeters. When I was making this, it was 90. And I guess from all the adjustments and sanding and all that stuff I did to it, got it down to 85. And I guess I didn't ever remeasure it once I finished it. So I've been shooting it for a couple months now and shooting it really well. And I guess I didn't realize maybe that's when whenever I went to go back to one of my 90 millimeter frames, I was a hair off. It took me about 15 shots to get back on target. But that's why, I guess. So never thought I'd be a fan of 85 millimeter frames, but I guess I am. I've been shooting really well with that. But then to jump to something like this gnarly thing, which is 95, was a big jump. So it's hard to adjust that quickly. You got some stickers? Yeah. Andrew, if I sent you any stickers? If I haven't, yeah, we'll definitely trade. Just send me a message. Let's see what else I got. Yeah, just message me. Send me your address, and I'll send you mine. So I was trying to see what else I had banded up already. I got the RVA catapults, Venom, ready to go. And got a little natty from Trapper DES. Trapper D's, Danny Straight. I don't keep all my frames banded up all the time. So this is what I got banded up right now. I got the Trapper D's. I got the Venom. We'll give the Trapper D's a couple shots. Here we go. All right. That's 2. Ooh. Just missed. But you're right. Switching up frames, I switch up frames a lot. And I do it because it's just too much fun to stick to one. You want to try them all, got to catch them all. But I do know that consistency is everything. So I at least try to stick to the same millimeter size frame. Not always, of course, like I said, but the more I can stick to a consistent 90 millimeter frame, I think the more consistent my shooting will be. But I got to try everything. I just like learning new stuff, new frames, new hold, new tapers. I just started a new taper. I was doing 2012 taper for a long time. And then I just recently got a template made for 1811, which is what this is on here, which is what I've been shooting a lot lately. This is my little natty. And I like it. I got the 2012 on the Venom here. This is a beautiful frame, by the way. I don't know if y'all don't know Moan Waller's work, but Moan Waller makes some excellent stuff, RVA catapults. I'm very fortunate in that I'm right here in the Richmond, Virginia area and get to shoot with him all the time and see his work in person. A lot of the frames that go out to folks all over the world, you know, I've got to see in person, which is really awesome because I get to see them, hold them, touch them, rub them, feel them. All right, let's go back to the Falcon. The Falcon's like I said, the Falcon's my go-to. Also, Leon, I don't know if Leon's still in here, but shout out Leon. He's the one that made me this lanyard. Magnet lanyard. Makes some awesome stuff. Squat shot. Shooting slingshots. New Year's Day. I was saying earlier, one of my resolutions this year, or a goal that I have, is to finally get my quest for 20 completed. That's 20 consecutive hits on a 40mm spinner at 10 meters. So that's the one I shoot at all the time, that little white 40mm spinner right there on that ladder. I've completely destroyed one wasp spinner trying to get this done, and I'm probably halfway through that one. That's up there now. The most I've ever got, I was saying earlier, the most I've ever gotten is 18, and it was only after that I got the 18 that I set the goal of 20 for myself. I was like, well, shoot, I can get 18, I can get 20, but it is hard. I mean, that 18 I got several months ago now. And I didn't get it on camera, so I'm trying to catch it on camera too. The most I've gotten on camera is 14 consecutive hits. Be epic if I did it live. You're back, Bam Bam. I was just explaining about what I'm trying to do. One of my goals for the new year is my quest for 20. Started it several months ago. And what it is basically just 20 consecutive hits on a 40mm spinner at 10 meters. It is difficult, to say the least. Most I've gotten is 18. Most I've gotten on camera is 14. But anyway, that's one of my goals this year. Quest for 20 consecutive hits. And it is true. The more I constantly switch up frames because I gotta try them all, and that is probably my downfall. I just need to stick to one frame, stick to one setup, stick to one taper, which I will do. I plan on doing in the near future. But I'm just having too much fun. Having too much fun with all the variety, all the makers. There's so many great makers, slingshot makers, beautiful frames out there. It's like, I don't know how I'm just not dead broke all the time. This one's got a pretty gnarly, this one's got a pretty gnarly divot in it. We'll see if it curves on me. All the real gnarly rusted ones and the ones that have these gnarly cuts and divots in them, I always like to see how they move in the air. This one's, because they never go straight. Woohoo! Still nicked that target though. Nicked it. Kissed it. Smack. Smack. It is windy, so I'm not shooting great anyways, but it's windy on top of that, and so it's really messing me up. But I don't care. But like I was saying earlier, the more lives you can do, I feel like that's gonna help anybody that can do a live, do them often. It's always fun to join in on the chats and talk to each other. But I also think it's gonna harden you up for your nerves at the tournaments. You know, going live, having people watch you shoot, which is one of my goals in this. I always like just to see y'all and see the chat and talk to y'all too. But I do think it will be helpful to have eyes on me while I'm shooting, kind of thicken my skin up. You know, I just thought about this. What might be really fun is if I do a live while I'm shooting the knockdowns at the East Coast tournament. That would be cool. That would add a whole nother layer. Okay. I've been really getting into like the filmography of all this stuff too. Like just making the videos, editing the videos. It's just fun for me. You know, it's the slingshot hobby is one thing, but then just sharing it with folks is a kind of a whole nother layer to the onion. The hobby has so many layers to it. I mean, there's not only the marksmanship aspect, there's the craftsmanship aspect with all the makers. There's playing around with the different tapers, latex materials, tying, jigs. I mean, it's like so many things you can get into. It is just, and it's affordable. So, you can pick up a stick off the ground and make a slingshot out of it. So, yeah, the shoot nannies. I mean, the shoot nannies are always fun. I'm really trying to get out to the one this weekend. Editing blows. So when I make a video, whenever time I get a new frame, either I make a new frame, someone gives me a new frame, I purchase a new frame. A lot of times I like to try to film the first shots, and I truly do film the first shots. So that's my first shot. I don't take any dry runs or anything, and sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't go well. But I think it's fun just to share that initial reaction, the very first shots of the frame and everything. But after that, trick shots and stuff like that, you know, I can guarantee you I am not getting all those trick shots on the first shot or on the second. Low. Low, low, low. High. Oh yeah, you never miss. If you can edit all your misses out, Todd, you'll never miss. Yeah, why lie? It's just fun. I mean, you know, there are folks out there that take a lot of pride in their accuracy, and they don't like to show misses, which I can understand. I mean, you don't want to watch somebody missing a whole bunch. That's not fun. You wouldn't tune into that and watch every video of someone missing a whole bunch. But there's no need to like sugarcoat it. Everyone misses. Yeah, that's right. The challenge. Yeah, that's another thing. The challenges, like, you know, Zach puts a lot of challenges out, especially lately. All those I film first take, and that's what it is. So, all right, I'm not going to be with y'all much longer. I'll give it a couple more shots, and then I'm peacing out. I'm actually making we're making black-eyed peas for New Year's. I don't know what we're gonna eat with it, but we're making black-eyed peas. That's right, Al. And if I make myself out to be some of this big shot marksman that can hit a grain of rice on my first shot every time, then I'm gonna be really made a fool of when we get to the tournament. So I'm not making myself out to be all that, because I know I'm not. Cabbage and ham. You know, we used to eat black-eyed peas and stewed tomatoes a lot on New Year's. I know that black-eyed peas is kind of like a traditional thing, but I'm not sure about the stewed tomatoes. We used to do black-eyed peas and stewed tomatoes. Some mac. Some mac. Just all right, I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm gonna hit that top little tiny, y'all can't see it. There's a little tiny, the one I showed you earlier, the tiny little 9mm white ball. It's on the top of that ladder. It's just above that white spinner. It's so small, I don't think y'all can see it on here. But I'm gonna hit that, and then we're gonna call it a night. Yes, Rachel's house on New Year's Day. Black-eyed peas and stewed tomatoes. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Got it. Let's see if we can get down there while it's still spinning so you can see it. Oh, it's not spinning anymore. it's swaying though. It's swaying. All right, that was it. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Peace. What'd you want to say?
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna try to do more of the lives this year. It's a lot of fun just chatting with y'all. I don't know how exciting it is. Maybe I'll come up with some exploding targets or something. Thanks, man. Y'all have a good one. Happy New Year. We're gonna have some fun this year. I'm looking forward to seeing some of y'all at the tournaments. Really looking forward to the tournaments. Last year was my first year at the tournaments, and it was a lot of fun, but it was, you know, just meeting everybody for the first time, trying to remember names. This year, I've gotten to know some of y'all, like just through online, through Facebook, through YouTube. And so it's going to be even more exciting this year, I think, now that we've gone through this whole last year of getting to meet people. It's been about exactly 1 year since I started shooting. It was January last year that I really got into it. And so it's my anniversary. It's my slingshot anniversary, I guess. All right. Y'all have a good night. Peace. Thanks.